Hello everyone. So guys, as you know, Figma just held their annual conference named Config. They have some really cool speakers, so I really recommend you go and check that out if you haven't yet. And they also announced some game-changing features which are already in beta testing. So we will be quickly reviewing that today so you can start using those in your designs. Okay, so the first one is dev mode. They made collaboration between designers and devs even easier with this. Before we used to have a tab name inspect next to the design and prototype tabs, but now you can actually turn on dev mode and enter a different visualization mode where devs can easily get the information they need, dimensions, the specifications and styles. Things they could access in that tab, they can turn that mode on, and additionally they can get the code for any component or screen they need. There's also now a dedicated section status, so you can mark elements as ready for development. You can basically see who changed what in what version, and you can access different versions of your elements. They also expanded the capabilities of integration inside and outside of Figma, so I think they integrated some extra plugins besides the ones you already know, like Zeppelin and Storybook and GitHub, and they actually integrated a Figma extension into VS Code, which is a very popular code editor. So basically developers can view Figma files inside of VS Code, which is really cool. They don't even have to leave the code editor. Okay, next we have this huge new feature which Figma announced called variables, which allows you to create reusable properties such as fill colors, padding, visibility, and more that can be replicated across your designs. So this feature makes it even easier to maintain consistency and update elements that you will be using repeatedly across your designs. There are four main types of variables you can define. First one is color, which can be applied to strokes and fills. The next one is numbers, which can be applied to text layers, corner radiuses, min and max width and heights, and padding and gaps between, which I'm guessing is like margins. Next is strings, which is applied to text layers, and finally we got boolean, which is basically true and false values. Okay, so variables and styles are kind of similar, but the main difference between styles and variables is that styles can consist of multiple values, such as a gradient, which might have 2 or more colors, or a shadow, which you have to assign several values to it, like blur and X and Y. On the other hand, variables are raw values, so they consist of a single specific value, such as a hex color code. This will be a game changer for designing inside Figma in general, but I think one of the most important parts of this will be prototyping, because you will no longer need to create like multiple screens to represent something simple like an increasing number. When you click the add button, you will be able to use variables to set rules that will automatically display the number increasing in a single screen, and even show a variant of that screen that displays a message, something like out of stock, when that number is equal to 0. Okay, and finally we have auto layout updates. So Figma added 3 main updates to the auto layout feature. The first one is the ability to set auto layout behavior to wrap elements to the next line when they don't fit the space. They also gave us the ability to set minimum and maximum widths and heights. So basically you can define how big or how small an element can get when it is resizing. And finally, you might remember when you wanted spacing between elements on an auto layout frame to adjust automatically, you had to go to the 3 dots menu and set it to space between. So now that is much simpler. You just have to click on the drop down next to the spacing value and set it to auto. Okay guys, so that's it. I really wanted to make a quick overview of what changed inside of Figma. Of course, I will be making specific tutorials for each of those in my next video, so stay tuned.